Good evening, everybody. How are you all? I am Meenu. I work as a software developer at GeekyAnts. Currently, I'm working on NativeBase and mainly on design systems. For those who don't know what NativeBase is, it is a component library for React and React Native. It makes your app development very fast and it is open source. Yeah, apart from work, currently I'm learning my first musical instrument. Do you know what this is? Yeah, this is kalimba. This is my first musical instrument and my friend is teaching me this. Exactly the sounds come. You can follow me on Twitter, we can connect there. I go by the handle Makkar_Meenu. Today, we will be talking about how we build a design system builder. Actually, this is in development phase right now. So yeah, uh, in the last design system meetup, we were just showing it to our friends and we also told like it is in development. Yeah, this is in development right now also. Okay, so before I start, we need to know what a design system is. We already collected that from Devesh talk and Chaitanya also told. They already explained all the fundamentals of design systems, so we will not go deep in that. We'll just see. Yeah. We'll now come to what are the steps for building a design system. So these are the certain steps that we usually follow to try and understand this process better. We'll take an example of a brand. We'll take Coca-Cola. We'll make some assumptions about this brand and its design processes. So by the end of this talk, we might make a little documentation around it. The first step is analyzing the design process. There are few questions that we need to ask, like what is the design system that the company already follow? What tools do they use? I'm not sure about what Coca-Cola uses, but I think let's just assume that they use Figma and go ahead with the next step. Next step is recognizing the brand's alphabet. Brand's alphabet is basically recognizing the brand's identity, like the feel of the brand and what the brand wants to depict. It is like, is it a professional persona that it wants to depict, or like some funny, like there are brands who just want to be, who just want to connect with the new generation and just want to show that persona. So we have to recognize that. We have to identify the brand, language, colors, fonts, etc. If we talk in terms of Coca-Cola, this is the brand best known when it is happiness, joy, and good experience. The color red is depicting like the power, excitement, energy, and passion. So it also stimulates, the red color also stimulates the appetite, which works best for their brand. The next is UI auditing. Chaitanya mentioned in his talk that they have created some Excel sheets sort of thing to audit all the components they were using in their sites. So yeah, yes, this is the step that we usually follow. We have to identify all the statistics around the product pages and the terms of design. Identifying all the inconsistencies that the brand already have before like moving on to creating a design system, and identifying the most important and most used components. I found a cool tool around it, csasstats.com, which does exactly the same. So let's see the result of Coca-Cola from that tool. So if you can see, the Coca-Cola uses a lot of red color that like might have some inconsistencies in terms of shades of red. We have to find those inconsistencies and the patterns that the site is having. So it does that very great in like graphical manner. It shows everything. Like it is showing 97 unique background colors they might be using in their website. Next is defining design principle. We are done with the analyzing part. Now we are defining things. Decide design-related principles such as brand identity and values that are depicted using designs. A good way is to use like a mood board and start jotting down things. So what are Coca-Cola's design principles? If we build a design system of Coca-Cola, design principles can be real, bold, the power of red, and familiar yet surprising. Yes. Now the next step is building a component library, which most developers can connect to. It consists of all the style and design parts of a website or a software to help designers and developers work consistently and reduce the repetitive work. I think tech part of design system starts with component library only. In the website, these buttons have same styles and across the website. They have same border radius, uppercase text and all. Even the color is same. Similarly, the product cards in the catalog that they have, merchandise shop, these rounded buttons, these buttons can be defined as a component while you're building a design system or a component library. Next is defining rules. Defining rules about what is allowed by the team and what is not while extending a design system, and use it in the most creative way possible. The objective is to not lock the designer in a particular direction and not yet divert from the design system as well. So designers and developers should follow a particular process before introducing new components or new tokens. Let's see how these are kept in mind while introducing this banner. So Coca-Cola was introducing some new flavors which didn't go with their branding, which was red. So they still kept the button red and they mixed-matched everything, which goes really well. Like it gives a fresh feel to the launch. Next is, after building a system, we have to define the governance of it. There are 3 models of governance strategy: solitary, centralized, and federated. Solitary is basically one person decides and approves all the design decisions and the team follows that. Centralized model is basically where a team decides all that and everyone in the team except from them, like other teams follow that. And the federated, where several people from several teams govern that, are in charge of the system. I'm not sure about Coca-Cola, like what they follow, but they have different brands under the Coca-Cola company. So there might be a collapse of federated or centralized model in there. The last one is document and communicate. So it is very important to document your design system which is built. It works as a single source of truth for your brand. I think Coca-Cola has that internally. We'll also build one. So yeah, we have these steps, and currently like we are building a design system builder. So we are trying to solve these steps, like automating all these and build a tool around it. So yeah, we at GeekyAnts were always into building things. We first built BuilderX. it generates React and React Native code for you. There were a lot of features by which you could easily build production-ready applications. But this has some limitations. So we could not reach to its full potential. Then the NativeBase version 3 were released. It was highly accessible and universal, highly customizable as well. So we thought that we already have a great library which works on all the platforms. So we thought of building a NativeBase builder. So while we were building NativeBase builder, we realized we have a problem of like maintaining design system in applications. So we thought of first solving design system in NativeBase builder. So this design system builder can also be used in isolation, like from NativeBase builder. NativeBase builder is basically app builder, and design system just builds the design system of your application. So this can be used in the isolation, and people who are manually creating their apps can use this design system, which is being built by the design system builder. So let's talk about the modules and the services that are involved in this design system builder. The services are, we need theme. So this is generating the theme, which can be used in Chakra, NativeBase, or Tailwind, which most people use these days. Then creating a component library and building a documentation website where, that includes all the in-depth knowledge about particular design system. And then designers need a Figma component library. So these were the services that we needed. And the modules to get those services were, we needed a bunch of modules to serve this. So we built a theme editor, and then asset management system, and then content management system, which is included in the DSX editor that we call. And we have a Figma plugin, which generates all the Figma component library. Yeah. So we'll talk about how this entire flow works. So this is a very complicated diagram that I'm also trying to understand. So the first DSX editor, which has theme management, asset management, and content management, which creates component library for us, generates theme, and we can have website and documentation around design systems. Then from the component library that we have here, that we get from DSX editor, we can actually have Figma plugin from that. We can actually have Figma component library, where Figma plugin acts as a bridge, and then we can design screens in Figma and replicate those. So we'll see one by one. First is theme editing. We are managing theme, and let's see. So basically, we have created a visual tool around that. You just have to go to the tool. It is not live currently. We'll just change the theme. This is on top of NativeBase. We can have a component library from it, and we can also export the theme. So this is how the theme JSON looks like, which you have to pass to extend your theme while using NativeBase. We are targeting Chakra and Tailwind as well. So this is the theme JSON file that you get. I have changed some primary color and the button component, basically the variant solid of it. So yes, this you just have to pass this theme in your application that you're building with NativeBase. Next is we can also have a component library, because you can, if you want to use your own component library, which is based on NativeBase, because this tool is based on NativeBase. So we can have a component library from it. You just have to download it from here and you get a zip which you can publish on your GitHub, and and you can have your package ready, the component library package, and make screens from that. Next is documentation side, which plays a very important role in maintaining a design system at a large scale. So to solve this problem, we kind of generating a brand website which uses the theme that you made, the asset management that you you added assets, and the content management is also there. You will add content, and this entire thing will come in the website. So this is the sort of website that it automatically generates. It has all the components, design principle that you wrote by yourself by deciding, design tokens, assets, and everything in and around your brand. So this is the asset management module that we made. Similarly, we have content management system. So now we'll talk about how this design system builder tool works for designer. So we made a Figma plugin which generates a Figma component library for you. And it has a single source of truth. So it works on the component library is the single source of truth, and the Figma component library that it generates has the same value. So the chances of inconsistency are very less. So we'll see how we are building component library out of it. We are just using that plugin. And the entire token mapping and component mapping is there. We have a full-fledged component library in Figma. We have all the variants of button. We can change the styles on go and create a new instance of button as well. So how does this Figma library getting auto-generated? So we have a storybook and a component library for the developers to work on, and they can add their custom components there as well. To create a Figma component library, we should have all the visual variants of the component. We are creating HTML pages around it. Every component has its HTML page. And then we have a plugin in Figma which take all the variants from the hosted HTML pages and map those properties to the Figma component library. We have written a mapper in the plugin, basically. So this entire flow gets completed. At last, I wanted to summarize. So what are the advantages of this automated tool? I think this is a great place to start with and then scale. So basically, we can manage our design system from one platform, like one tool is there and we can manage the design system from there. We have design to code consistency because the source of truth is single. We have auto-generated component library. We can add more custom components in that. we don't need to develop component library from scratch, yeah. And designers and developers don't have to use their, change their platform to work on this platform, because it just helps. It doesn't want to add more dependency. Yeah. Thank you.